We'll stay in the AFC here. The Chiefs are moving on.
Okay.
We'll go close, right? The Browns stayed in this game, even though it looked like in the first half, like this game should have been a blowout in the first half. Chiefs were settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. They were moving the ball pretty easily.
At
right?
will. I
think they were on pace for 600 yards. I think they almost had 300 at halftime.
Right.
So they were moving the ball really well, got some field goals, but it kept the Browns in it, and credit to the Browns.
Yep.
They stayed in it. Patrick Mahomes had to come out of the game. You saw his toe affecting him before that, which I heard you talking with Mike. That might be a bigger story going into next week than his concussion.
I would almost bet my house that this morning Mahomes is more bothered. He could give a crap about his head. I bet you his head's fine. He's like, what? I sent out a funny tweet last night. I'm totally firing on all cylinders. Great. Let me go take the test of that. I guarantee he woke up this morning to take his morning pee and went, oh my gosh, I can barely move my toe. That is a very annoying injury. I've had it to a lesser extent. Anybody that's had it playing football will tell you it is debilitating. You can't walk or run normal. You almost have to put your foot to the side, because when you start to walk and your toes do that every time, it really bothers that joint of that big toe. And I just watching it on film, he throws the ball and he's kind of twisted around, and then Sheldon Richardson grabs him a little bit, and it makes his leg kind of swing around extra far. I'm going to stand up. Just keep it right there.
Oh, wow. Chris is standing up.
And his toe I'm going to get that toe in there. It just gets totally turned like that. Nothing that it looks like, but that's what happens with those kind of injuries. And, man, was he affected after that.
And some of the biggest plays in recent memory of Mahomes in the playoffs are him running the ball, huge gain, touchdown run, or him scrambling out of the pocket and then throwing there too. And so you take that element away or you reduce it.
Scarier.
It is a little scarier.
In a year where they haven't been able to protect him for the last 6 weeks?
Yeah.
That's where I looked at it. Now, they got away with it yesterday because the Browns are not a great defense. So, that was okay to that point, and he still at least was able to move enough to where he could just move in the pocket and boom, throw to Kelsey over the middle. So it wasn't but yeah, I think if he had a sprint, he was nowhere near 100%, speed. But, the other thing I'll say too, listen, I don't give a damn if his foot's hurt. What I saw yesterday, I know he missed 2 throws out to the left because he was trying not to totally put his foot in that weird spot there. But he's still going to be able to throw it amazing. It's not going to matter. In fact, I'm not even lying. He might throw it better. It might mechanically keep him in better positions. He's so gifted. He can just do this kind of stuff and not worry about being perfect mechanics all the time. And sometimes it does lead to him just throwing too much arm. But when his front foot is hurt, and of course I'm a lefty, so it changes me, it keeps him on that back leg. And he made some throws yesterday after his foot got hurt where I went, whoa, that popped out of your hand. Whoa, that was a laser.
Yeah.
And it might force him to be just more of a pocket passer, which I'm not lying, could be freaking dangerous, every bit as dangerous too.
But maybe not as dangerous as Chad Henne, though.
Ooh.
Who came into the game. And do we have a tweet is this from Chad Henne or is this from Patrick Mahomes?
I said Mahomes.
This is Patrick
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. You're right. He's fine. You're right. Mahomes is fine.
This is during the game. This is right after the game.
You can come up with that hashtag right after the game.
Right.
You're doing okay.
They really should just do that and be like, look how witty he is. The game,
That's
concussion
the concussion protocol.
That was too good of a joke.
If he would have tweeted that during the game, he could have come back in the game because it's like he's clearly thinking.
Good thing he spelled it correctly and everything, because if he spelled it wrong, he'd be like, whoa, hold on.
You might miss the next game then, too. Chad Henne comes in, which I thought he was 6 for 8. I thought he looked good out there. The most impressive part, though, was that Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, basically, it didn't seem like they changed anything with him in the game.
No.
They went for 4th down on his first snap on a toss, where it just looked like, they're going to try to draw him off sides, like every team does now, and end up punting.
Not them.
No, they pitch it out to Williams. He gets the first down.
Right.
And then at the end of the game, same thing. They put it on his arm. They put it on Chad Henne's arm first his legs to scramble.
But it was different. Even that. I was shocked by that play.
That they ran a pass play on 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14. I was sitting there going, wait, there's 2 minutes left. You're up by 5 points, so they need a touchdown to score. I'm going, run the ball. And
your defense is playing well.
Take a timeout right as the clock hits 0, and then punt it with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, right?
Yeah.
And now they get the ball, and it's 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. That's what I was thinking. When he dropped back to pass, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm thinking he could throw an interception. I hope somebody's wide open. I mean, he's not. I mean, is he going to be in rhythm to make the throw, but then makes the great run like you're talking about to get him close enough?
But still didn't get the first down.
No.
So then you're thinking, all right, now you're going to punt the ball because it's still right around. I don't know exactly where it was, but it's right around midfield.
Yeah. No, I'll come up with the
exact.
They were on the 48-yard line.
Yeah.
48.
I mean, so I'm almost willing to say 90% of teams, maybe it's more than that. Maybe every other team punts in that situation. Backup quarterback with the lead. Your defense has been playing well.
Right.
You just don't want to blow it, right?
I feel like
you feel like you're the better. You don't want to be the team that makes the big mistake like that. Well, why'd you do that? You're the better team.
Right.
Let your defense win the game for you.
I think your 90% thing's about right. I think that only the real offensive geniuses of football would go for it there.
But with a backup quarterback.
I know. But like I could see like Sean Payton doing it with Jameis Winston.
Sure.
And be like, I got this play. I know we're going to gash him.
I might feel more confident about
it. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's those kind of guys, like even like Brady and McDaniels, or, McDaniels in their day. Like if Brady had to come out and it was Jimmy Garoppolo to back up or somebody, Hoyer, they still would have been like, we got to play. He can throw it 3 feet.
Let's win the game
Let's win it right now.
Yeah.
But it's got to be those special people. It's got to be those type of offensive player callers who know, I got something in the lab from last week that I just know is going to just, mind blow emoji, and they're not going to be able to cover it. And he runs inside so much. So let's look at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the Tyreek Hill. He hits him here, the 4th down to ice the game. We just brought it up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can follow along with Chris here.
Yeah, and it's a play they do a lot. It's basically sprint right option. It's the old, Joe Montana, Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone, right, against the Dallas Cowboys back in the day, except they're doing it at a different way here. So it's run to the right. It's great pass protection. And if we can go back to the start here before the snap, the big thing is, first off, it's man-to-man. Okay, so there's that aspect right away. So now they know, like, okay, as long as he can beat him off the line of scrimmage, we're going to have a good chance. Now, the defense, the other thing they have to worry about so much here, don't start it yet, is just they run so many inside breaking routes from this formation with Tyreek Hill. Whether it's the RPO slant route or the vertical routes we kind of just talked about with Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara. There he is in the inside of 3. He's usually the guy that ends up going across the field. We saw it on the first drive of the game. Romo pointed it out. He hit him on that kind of play. So the DB is also thinking like, damn, if he gets off on me inside and they just throw a slant route, the game's over. He's scared of that too. So because of this, the formation, everything in it's man-to-man. Go ahead, let it play, Kristen. And he makes an unbelievable stutter step at the line of scrimmage. And it's just
tell that DB was basically stationary.
He was stationary.
He went for the slant, and he was like,
Exactly. He got frozen. He didn't know. It's a two-way go. He's in a very tough spot. There's got to be something done there to help him. Really, what I would say, and one of the issues with Cleveland altogether yesterday, I wish they would have taken a few more risks on the defensive side of the ball. That to me was one of the things I would say. But, yeah, on that type of play, Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I probably would have had him double to a degree or something. Somebody, hey, if he runs the inside slant, we got somebody here. So now the guy that you're covering a man-to-man, you can play outside leverage and take him when he runs anything out route. But either way, great play design. Gutsy as hell play call.
Yep.
And Ahmed, once again, the overlooked thing, you heard me say this probably this morning, the overlooked thing with the Chiefs is their toughness and physicality as a football team. Constantly. Oh, they won't be able to stop Nick Chubb in the Browns running game. It's you tell them that they got to stop something, they always stop it. They really do. Between their defense and then the grittiness on their offensive line and, oh, wait, Mahomes is out. Now we're going to run the ball and chew up clock and do all of that. Man, that's all Andy Reid. That's attitude in your team, toughness in your team, a team that doesn't give up or just get down because one guy's gone, even though he's the best player on the team and all that. Like, tremendous. That's culture right there. You want to know what culture is. That's the kind of culture, teams are trying to strive for right there.
We need to give another award.
Yeah.
Kristen, it's time for a damn okay.
Damn. Okay. Damn. I'm okay. Damn. I'm okay. Yeah, no, yes. I'm okay. Illegal gambleizing. Oh, baby. I am Chris Simms. I'm okay. Damn. Okay. What are you damning okay about here?
We just need a little musical interlude every once in a while just to break things up, whether it's you singing or not. What you're talking about exactly right now, the defense. And we got a Pet Way saying a damn okay to Coach Spagnuolo and the Chiefs defense for buckling down with the game on the line. Honorees Chris Jones, Honey Badger, Sneed. We saw Tyrann Mathieu with his first takeaway in 6 career playoff games, had a career high 6 interceptions this regular season. I think there were a lot of people, my dad included, who played fantasy on FanDuel, who thought Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt would have big games. You know, they'd be able to run the ball because they'd want to run the ball. And with their offensive line and their ability, would be able to do that against this Chiefs team. They really couldn't that much. And the Chiefs, you don't think the Chiefs are winning on physicality, like you mentioned.
I know.
And the defense was able to do that, ratchet that up here in the postseason.
They've always answered the bell. Raiders, run game, Josh Jacobs, Sunday Night Football. Well, the game got moved to Monday night. Oh, they stopped that. Oh, Derek, like I've said this a few times. They're like, Derrick Henry and the Titans are coming to town last year in the AFC Championship. Oh, that's right. He couldn't rush for 80 yards in that game. Kyle Shanahan and the run game of the 49ers. Oh, that's right. They couldn't get it going, and then there they were, had a 10-point lead, and they couldn't get a first down to put the damn game away and do the stuff like that.
Yeah.
Chiefs defense. It is the overlooked thing. There's big people on the front of that Chiefs D line. That's what gives them a chance. And again, that's where, I think you've heard me say a little lately, big people on defensive lines, I think is going to start becoming a real in vogue thing in the league right now. The offenses are too versatile. So you got to have a defensive line that can hold the run down by itself a little bit and not always have to put safeties and extra people in the box that way. And they have that. When you talk about Chris Jones, who's 315, 320, Nadi in the middle, the Florida State nose tackles, same thing. I think he's even heavier than that. Frank Clark is no cupcake there. And then they got guys like Wharton and Pennell and all these other guys who back them up are big guys too. So they're never just outmanned up front. That gives them a chance. And then Spagnuolo is as creative as it gets as far as week-to-week game planning.
Having said that, I do want to give credit to Baker Mayfield.
Yes, please, let's do it.
Phenomenal. Stoney says, Baker did well, and I am proud of him.
Yeah.
This was a really crucial year for Baker Mayfield, a new coach coming in COVID. I mean, there's so many reasons why this shouldn't have worked, right? It's like new coach, new system. Baker had a down year, not feeling great. You're not around your team as much as you want to be. I think it really, we'll talk about the Rams game coming up here in a bit. I think there was a real good chance that a lot of us thought at the end of this year we'd be talking about Baker Mayfield the way they're talking about Jared Goff.
That kind of
thing. Do we have to move on?
Right.
It's like, to be the team we want to be, do we have to move on? And he totally changed the script without his number one target, Odell Beckham, for much of the second half of the season there.
Yeah.
He looked good, right? And he convinced you that he is the guy?
Definitely. Baker Mayfield's the guy. There's no doubt. He's answered that question. I think we were all, a little too quick to question that to begin with, for a guy that was in his third offensive coordinator in 3 years and all of those type of things. But either way, that doesn't even matter anymore. I mean, what we saw him do really the second half of the year, and to what you're saying, where, you're right. People were starting to Jared Goff thing, all of that. Baker Mayfield, as we saw the last 5-6 weeks, he can make so many plays by himself, or throws like last night, where you sit there and go, he can't. He's coming out of a play action fake and he's firing, and then he throws the ball and you're like, whoa, what a throw! There were some people around there, and there's a 20-yard in cut in between, a safety who's driving down on it and a corner who's closing on it. And you just go, that's just great arm talent. There's no other way to say that. He is in a system that fits him, the team, everything. Kevin Stefanski got it all turned around. The Browns should be so happy with where they are, where they're going, what direction. They need a few more studs on defense, like you said. I mean, that's all it is. It's 2 or 3 players on the defensive side of the ball.
They drafted, they got hurt.
The D tackle from Missouri got third round, but they drafted the safety Grant Delpit, who got hurt in the second round.
Right in the beginning of the year.
Right in the beginning of the year, so that'll help out. But they need a few. They need another stud front seven football player, another and then probably a linebacker. That's the other thing they're missing. Listen, they're going to run this Seattle defense. They need their Bobby Wagner, their KJ Wright, their Fred Warner. Joe Woods came from San Francisco. They need that type of guy. But man, yes, Cleveland great year by them. But the point is, Kansas City, them getting their toughness, they were the better team on the field.
Yes.
That's why I'm glad they won the game. They were clearly the better team if Mahomes is healthy. And I always root, once I see a game and start to go, I usually end up rooting for the team I think's better as I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the best matchups next week. And this game, as we both know, would have been a lot closer if the ball didn't roll out of the end zone in the first half.
Here we go. So that's the one play. It is the one play that we have to talk about that we haven't talked about yet. First of all, a lot of people thought that should have been a penalty on what? Sorensen? Is that who is?
So let's start there.
Spearing
I think this is a really good talking
Higgins
thing.
with his helmet.
So I ask you this in all seriousness. I know I get fired up about these conversations. This is not so what the fuck is the defense supposed to do there?
Yeah.
So are we getting to the point in football now where guys are going to dive for the corner and there's going to be somebody close and we just got to stop and go ahead?
There's nothing you can do at that point.
There's no way the head is not going to be involved. Nobody's going to dive and then curl up into a cannonball and try to make it happen that way. Hold on, I unclipped myself.
No, but you have to, though. It's like, because you know what? That's not a healthy play for Sorensen either. It's not a healthy play for the defensive guy. Like, you don't, I think, I get what you're saying, right? It's like you just let him
not
score.
Healthy.
It's not healthy, but okay, say it's rugby and say you're playing no helmets.
Yeah.
Do you just have to go head to head with that guy, or do you have to just play the game without your head?
Okay,
in the
I don't
play?
know. See, this is where we got to stop with the ifs, buts, and candies and nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. Great. We wear helmets.
I know.
His job is to not let the guy in the end zone.
Right.
He's in a tough spot there. He's not trying to lead with his head. He's not going, he's just trying to cut the guy off with his body, so hopefully he knocks him out of bounds before he gets there.
It was unfortunate for him that his head is on the top of his body.
Exactly. It's going to be a kind of a problem as you go forward for these tackling guys. You know,
I understand trying to officiate a game where defensive players don't feel the need to throw their head.
I understand that.
I
don't think that's one that should ever be called. I don't think it's egregious. I don't think he's head hunting, to your point.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
He's trying to stop
but I'm almost saying save the defensive player from
himself.
From himself.
I hear you.
Take that, throw a penalty on him, not because we think you did something bad, but because we don't want you.
I just don't know how any play like that's ever going to be stopped in the future of football.
Yeah.
There's going to be some contact with the head. Yeah. It's going to happen a little bit, and it's just hard to avoid. Now
speaking of changes in football, everyone in the world, except for Chris Simms, thinks that at least everyone I've talked to, which is a lot of people in this world, thinks that the fumble out of the end zone should not result in the other team getting the ball at their own 20-yard line. Because then the argument is made that anywhere else on the field, if a team fumbles out of bounds, the ball goes back to the spot of the fumble, right? That you fumbled.
This is the field of play. This is not the end zone.
That is the field of play, correct.
Right. It's not the end zone. The whole point. Go ahead. Continue with your.
No, that is the point. That it's an egregious.
That is the field
penalty.
of play. That is being fought for who owns that field of play. The end zone is one team's property.
You say everything changes once you get to the end zone.
Yeah, the one team, everything changes in the end zone.
I do agree with that.
They're defending that. If you cross the ball with the ball in your hand into their end zone, it's a touchdown.
It's the only part of the field where you get points.
It's the only point. Exactly right. You punt the ball and it goes out of the bounds, it's a touchback. You punt the ball, you kick the ball and it goes out of the back in the end zone. Yeah. It's a touchback. To say that the offense should just get the ball back there, I don't agree. This is not the field of play. This is not. This is in the end zone.
But the argument could be, why are you rewarding the defense? A guy can just drop the ball himself with no help by the defense. They don't even recover the ball, and they get it. Why are you rewarding the defense for that?
Okay, well, that's their fault. I don't know. But, also what we're saying is, too, everyone's going to be cool. And because this will happen at some point. If we just start to wipe this rule away, every time somebody dives 3 yards in or going into the corner, just reach out and see if you can reach, and if not, just throw it out the side of the end zone there.
Yeah, just have the ball on your fingertip.
Have your fingertip. I have no control. Okay, I'm about to go to the ground. Let me just throw it out there, and then it's not a fumble, and we get the ball back right there. That's great. Everybody gets a blue ribbon. It's awesome. Everybody.
You know what? I disagree with you, but there's a part of me that's sympathetic to your argument because I'm a baseball fan. You're a baseball fan. There are weird rules in baseball and different quirks and stuff like that. This is a different quirk.
This rule is very consistent with the rest of football.
I get it. And if you have the ball and you fumble it out of your own end zone, that's points. It's a safety. You can't do that.
Right. You've lost control of the ball in your own end zone. You can't do that either.
And maybe we can find middle ground.
Right.
Because I like you a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to always compromise and show the world how it's done. I do think, though, if you are going to make a tweak, that the team that doesn't do anything, maybe they caused the fumble, maybe they didn't. All right.
He caused the fumble yesterday.
Okay, give them the ball. Why do they get to move the ball 20 yards ahead on the field? Why do they get to advance?
I understand that.
2 first downs.
But again,
give them the ball at the 1. Give the other team the ball at the 1 yard.
I understand that, but it's also very consistent with the touchback rules and everything like that. It's the same thing. So I don't mind. If you want to change it to that, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
But I can't sit there and go, it's crazy, because it's consistent with everything else that goes. And again, when nobody is possessing the ball and the ball is free in somebody's end zone, it's the only part of the field that belongs to one team. One team has one end zone and the other team has the other end zone. The rest of it is all a fight for that field position. That's open field. So if nobody possesses the ball and the ball rolls out of bounds at the 44-yard line, okay, that was open field. But in this territory, you've lost the ball, and now no one's recovered it in our area. That's our area. No, we get the ball back. That's the way that is. I won't ever back down from that.
It's like the home run that bounced off the head of Jose Canseco. He can be like, well, it bounced off my head and went over the fence. Be like, I'm sorry, over the fence is a home
over
run.
the fence.
It's over the fence. You know, it's out of the field of play at that point, even though you hit it off your head.
Don't worry. It's going to get changed. It doesn't.
You do think it's going to get changed?
Without a doubt. Everybody's crying about it today. It's going to get changed. Nobody wants to see defense anymore. Everybody wants a 74-73 game, and let's give him the ball back so we can make sure I get my guy the fantasy points from the 1. He was supposed to score there. I want us to have another chance. And that's where I just go, it's bullshit. I won't buy that.
Okay, but maybe if we do get a rule change, just change it to giving the team that gets the ball at the 1 yard line.
I can get behind. Because
then you can still, you're like, all right, we're still here.
Right.
Okay.
I can deal with that.
Pete, by the way, has his 5 worst rules in football, and that is one of them. See if you agree with Pete. Number 5, the fact that both teams are not guaranteed a possession in overtime. He thinks both teams should get the ball in overtime.
I love that. I don't even think they should have changed it from the old rule.
You were okay with that?
They got $1 million defensive players, and now we're like, defense, if you don't stop them, don't worry, we get one more chance.
You're saying that Pete's saying every team should get the ball and every player should get it.
This is all millennial bullshit here. This is all like, it's just not fair. I deserve a chance too.
I don't think
it's baby bullshit. I don't care. Yes, I'm a millennial too. I think technically.
For fining players for wearing cool cleats, that's a bad rule. I agree with that one. That one should be on this list.
I'm not a fan of that either. Nope. I do like them to stay within a color code though. I don't want to see like a team that's like the silver and blue and they're wearing purple. Right. I don't like that.
Adding an 8th seed to the playoffs. He says it's coming. You just wait. And he preemptively.
I'll agree with him there. I'm with him there.
I agree with that.
Without a doubt.
Number 2, using metal chains to measure first downs like it's 1905.
So true.
That's good.
I mean, Next Gen Stats has a chip in the ball, and everybody's got a chip, and we can see everybody doing everything.
Right.
Except we're gonna rely on the 68-year-old referee who was 12 yards behind where the ball was, and now he's just gonna randomly put his foot somewhere to spot it.
Yeah, and I feel like there was a measurement in the game, which you don't see in them very often because they often spot the ball right on the line now, so they don't have to do that. Yeah. And it seemed really close, but they just gave him the first down anyway. Like in the old days, you'd put like a credit card in the middle there, and you'd look and you'd try to.
It's a little too inexact
what's
right
going
now.
on right now?
Yeah.
But his number 1 most hated rule is the fumble out of the end zone rule. And he says, "Don't die on this hill, Chris."
I want to like when people keep saying that to me, "Don't die on this." I want to go like.
You want to die more for this.
I want to go, you're dying on, a little ant mountain. Like, why are you even dying? No one's giving me a reason yet. Everyone just goes, I just think they should get the ball back. I don't know why, but they should just get it back. I'm not going to buy that.
You've convinced me.
Have I?
I am no longer in favor
I convinced a few people in the NFL
ball back
today,
to
too.
the offensive team, but I will fight for giving the other team the ball at the 1 yard line.
Okay.
That's what I will now fight
good.
for.
I'll take that. Fine. Let's move on before you
go
crazy.
Speaking of hills to die on, let's send the Browns into the ground right now. Let's send them into the ground. We will bury them.
The Browns will go with the brown ground.
Here lie the Cleveland Browns, a team that is going through a major identity crisis as we speak. thinking it still might be possible that the league just pulled an elaborate practical joke on them. They're like, did this really happen? They're like, of course not. You're not a playoff team. No, they were there. Doubts? No, we had none. We saw potential from day one. Chris knew they'd go higher. You said they're on fire in a dumpster, which is just our own little pun. That's just the way we say it, like you're on fire in a dumpster. That just happens to be where it is. It's a metaphor.
Thank you.
For us right there. They surprised a lot of people.
Right.
But a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in a century and a half or whatever it was,
yes,
has to do that. And then now we've seen it. Now we're convinced that you are a good team moving forward. Congratulations, Browns.
Way to go, Brownies.
Even though we have to bury you. All right.
Wasn't it weird too? I mean, first off,
yes.
Century and a half is a long time ago, but
I
just found it weird with that game and everything that went on too. Like I'm a football historian. The Browns, their playoff woes, the Ernest Biner fumble back in the day going into the end zone. We had that. To me, I was like, man, what I thought of was like, it's just funny sometimes the correlation. Marty Schottenheimer was the coach of the Browns. He was the coach of the Chiefs too, and something like this happens on that field. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. Ironic.
You're a historian of the game.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.